And if you move further ahead, Sri Krishna also said that Narupamasyeha tathopalabhyate nanto na chadirna cha sampratishta ashvattamenam suvirudamulam sanghasastrena dridhena chitva. So though he happens to be the trunk and the small sprouting of those leaves, he happens to be in all, but he also says that there are three gunas with which all the actions are saturated. So all the action that we performed is either instigated by three of them, either sattva, rajas, and tamas. And these sattva, rajas, and tamas with which we perform our actions determines the way our life is paved forward and towards the spiritual ascension. Then he says very clearly that one has to detach himself or herself from all three gunas. It is not possible with the pedestals of these three roads can lead you in one direction. Absolutely not. You have to go beyond that. You have to rise above all these three lines of thoughts. Whether your actions are instigated or are totally governed by the rajas or tamas, you cannot be into all three of them. So even the rajasya vritti is fine, but it doesn't lead to the final goal of reality. So Krishna says that. And one thing that comes quite prominently here, he says asvattamena. Here asvat has many meaning. Even asvat could be a horse, you see. So the place where the horses used to be under the shade of a tree, so maybe that happened to be asvatthamenam. And asva also means like swa. So many meanings to one word, which goes beyond the imagination of a human mind. And it also further elucidates that all these branches that you know as the reality of your life is actually mirage, is illusion. And that illusion has to be totally slashed and totally broken off, and the wall of illusion has to be broken off or scaled so that you know the reality as it is. Sri Krishna says that asvatthamenam suvirudhamulam sankasastrena dhrena chitva. Here we say he needs an instrument, equipment, an equipment of action. With your detachment, you can. So detaching from what? From all the knowing of Vedas. Because all the knowing of Vedas is me. But you are holding to one school of thought. You read scriptures and all the Vedas, and you have kind of grown into a specific school of thought, and you have taken fancy to one school of thought and hanging on to it and lingering on to it and not letting it go. So that is also sattvic vritti, but at the end of the day, it happens to be only a knowledge. That is it. And the knowledge that you take so much of pride in, boastful about explaining what you know the best. Sri Krishna says that not only illusion is not operating from the tamasi vritti. No, that is one aspect of it. Rajas also, okay, that is also fine. But sattvic vritti also cannot take you to where I am. Because we are so much engrossed in the world today that we want to do it right. Because, one of the aspects is that people say, oh my God, I have to do it right and everything has to be right. And I'm doing so much in the world today just to, do the most righteous thing. But Krishna here says that there's nothing called righteousness or wrong thing. It's the intent behind what we're doing. It's not what we are doing, it's the very intent of what we are doing besides the projection of our character, besides the karma. So the very karma, because karma has become karma in the world today. So it's not only the action, with what intention the action is being performed creates karma. So sometimes, you see, being humble is all right. Let's say that, okay, you are a very good person, or you love everyone, you have a grace, and you have compassion. Wherever you go, you spread love and compassion and generosity to everyone you meet, everyone you come across. But what if it becomes a kind of your identity? So here, the very sattvic vritti of yours, which is of compassion, love, generosity, helping people, becomes your identity. So what is happening as Sri Krishna trying to say here something very, very unique, very profound, that has to be cut also with the slash of knowledge and inner guidance and intuitiveness. And if you don't do that, then you will be just lingering around the trunks of the trees. You'll never know me as a seed, as the urdhva. So often we are stuck with good karma, and we are trying to do the best thing possible and try to be generous. But there's a message here for all of us that never get stuck at goodness, because anyway, who knows goodness and what defines goodness? What I may define as goodness could be a matter of just mediocrity for someone else. Right? So that's how the message of Gita here is becoming so relevant today, that we shall not get stuck with the goodness. We are neither good nor bad. Either we do good karma, we shall not be prideful of that. We shall not take any pride in doing good karma. That's not good, because that has to be also a part of in the cycle of, in the loop of creating good karma. And good karma in the spectrum of the spirituality is also a karma only at the end of the day. So Sri Krishna says that it means it has to be slapped. It has to be just cut. And the most important thing here is, in this today age and time, because it is also very prominent, that Sri Krishna was very smart. And he was called a trader. He was also called a negotiator. And he was also called a very smart trader, in fact. Why? Because at times the people would approach him from the other side, from the opposite side, and he would talk to all of them. He would not say, I won't talk to you because you don't belong to my way of thinking. No, he would not say that. What we do in our lives, we try to create a club of our own people, don't we? Whomever, we have choices. We have a lot of choices in our lives. Sri Krishna, the teaching of Bhagavad Gita is so immense, is so much in depth, because we have so much of liking. Oh, I like this kind of set of people. Oh, I like that thing. But Sri Krishna, he was totally determined to make go of what he was divinely designed to do on this planet. That is it. He was most attuned to his higher self in order to perform the action that he was supposed to, that he was divinely designed to perform on this planet. That is it. So, in fact, he rose himself above any choices. Oh, we can revere him. At times, you know what happens? When we think that we cannot have attribute of this great person, or we have this tendency of worshipping people, you see. And what happens at times, when we think it is not possible or humanly possible for me to be able to imbibe this knowledge and these great attributes this specific human has, what we do is we kind of adorn that specific person, embellish him with some kind of superficial, ostentatious identities. We adorn him with it, and we start worshipping him. Not because we want to worship him, just because we maybe are not worthy enough to be able to imbibe those great attributes within ourselves. You see? So it is very important not to kind of flash it out any specific person or any school of thought, as a matter of fact, to glorify it to an extent that is not possible for a human being. It is a god. And now we can say that, oh no, that person was a god. I'm not a god. I'm a human being, man. I can't achieve it. No, I can't do that. So now we have a bahana. We have something to resort to at the end of the day, that we have an excuse. So we always try to find the easy way out. That's our human nature. So Sri Krishna here says that no, because we have to learn from his lifetime. Come on, we shall, because the best thing is his teachings is universal. Today, even in this time where we are so amazingly connected, the world, where just a press of a button, we can send any message to anyone across the globe, still the teachings of Bhagavad Gita are so relevant. And we are having a talk right now.